Imagine surviving in one of the most extreme environments on Earth where freezing winds cut through exposed skin like knives and the sun disappears for months at a time. For most people, the idea would seem impossible, a nightmare of cold and isolation. Yet for the Inuit, this is simply the reality of daily life, a way of being that has fascinated and baffled scientists for decades. Their ability to thrive in conditions that would leave most humans shivering in defeat is nothing short of extraordinary. From astonishing physical adaptations to time-honored survival techniques, the Inuit have demonstrated a mastery of their environment that challenges conventional understanding. They endure temperatures so low that exposed skin can freeze in seconds, and they secure sustenance by hunting massive sea creatures such as whales, seals, and fish using traditional tools that have been honed over generations. What might seem like sheer survival against impossible odds is for the Inuit a highly refined set of skills, knowledge, and physiological adaptations that have allowed them to flourish in one of the harshest climates on the planet. One of the most striking features of Inuit survival is their diet, which has long perplexed researchers. The saying, "You are what you eat," takes on an entirely new meaning here. The Inuit subsist almost entirely on a diet rich in animal fat, consuming whale, seal, and fish with minimal to no fruits or vegetables. From a modern nutritional perspective, such a diet would be expected to wreak havoc on the cardiovascular system, sending cholesterol levels soaring and precipitating heart disease. Yet, studies have shown that the Inuit possess some of the healthiest hearts on Earth. The secret lies in a genetic adaptation that allows their bodies to process fats differently, effectively, giving them a natural advantage in a world where high-fat diets would normally be deadly. This genetic quirk, coupled with their traditional knowledge, serves as a testament to the power of evolution and adaptation. It is almost as if nature has provided a cheat code for human survival in extreme environments, a physiological gift that allows them to thrive where others would perish. But the Inuits' resilience is not limited to their diet alone. Their bodies are remarkable in their ability to cope with sub-zero temperatures, even when wearing minimal clothing. Scientific studies have revealed that Inuit metabolism functions differently from that of most humans. Their bodies generate heat more efficiently, enabling them to maintain warmth even in conditions that would be lethal to unadapted individuals. In addition to metabolic adaptations, their physical morphology has evolved to conserve heat. Shorter limbs, stockier builds, and broader torsos help minimize heat loss, a natural engineering of the human form to suit one of the coldest regions on Earth. Beyond physiology, language itself seems to shape how the Inuit perceive the world. Intutut, their native language, contains a multitude of words for snow, reflecting an intimate understanding of their environment. But it goes deeper than that. Inuktitut structures time and space differently, with a system of absolute directional references such as north and south, rather than relative ones like left and right. This allows Inuit elders, for example, to remain oriented in the landscape even when blindfolded or spun in circles, an ability that continues to intrigue cognitive scientists. The Inuits' connection to their environment is not merely physical, it is intellectual, linguistic, and cultural, woven into every aspect of their daily lives. While the Inuit are masters of the Arctic, humanity's capacity for adaptation is not limited to the cold. In the Pacific during World War II, Another phenomenon left anthropologists astounded: the emergence of cargo cults. On isolated islands of Melanesia, indigenous communities had lived for generations with no contact with cities, electricity, or modern technology, relying entirely on the land and sea for survival. Then suddenly, massive metal airplanes appeared in the sky, dropping crates filled with supplies, food, clothing, and tools that seemed miraculous in comparison to the tribes' traditional resources. To the Melanesians, the pilots and soldiers delivering these goods were more than humans. They were divine beings. Observing that only the Americans received the cargo, the islanders began imitating their actions, constructing wooden replicas of planes, airstrips, and watchtowers, and even marching in military formations, all in the hope of summoning further deliveries from the heavens. When the soldiers eventually left and the cargo ceased to fall, the tribes continued their rituals, interpreting the disappearance as a spiritual withdrawal, a belief that reflected a profound and literal interpretation of cause and effect. The cargo cults remain a striking example of how human belief systems can adapt in response to seemingly inexplicable phenomena, showcasing our capacity for creativity, ritual, and cognitive flexibility in the face of new challenges. In the dense jungles of northeast India, another extraordinary people, the Naga, have demonstrated resilience and adaptation in a markedly different environment. Spread across more than 40 tribes along the border of India and Myanmar, the Naga have developed a culture of survival and skill that has impressed outsiders for centuries. From hunting tigers barehanded to mastering agriculture and craftsmanship, the Naga exemplify human ingenuity in confronting both natural and social challenges. Their society is a blend of warrior tradition and artisanal excellence, with men and women holding distinct but complementary roles. Men often assume leadership and responsibility in community defense, while women manage households, raise children, and maintain social cohesion. Inheritance practices reflect a pragmatic understanding of family structures. The eldest son inherits the family home upon marriage, prompting the parents to build a new home for themselves, a system that reinforces continuity and social stability. Yet the Naga are perhaps most famous or infamous for their historical practice of headhunting. This brutal tradition was deeply entwined with notions of honor and status. Warriors gained prestige by collecting enemy heads, displaying them as tattoos, and asserting dominance within the tribe. While the practice was officially abandoned in the late 20th century under the pressure of modern legal systems, its cultural resonance endures, marking a period in which the Naga demonstrated extraordinary courage, strategy, and social organization. Moving to the highlands of Papua New Guinea, the Yali tribe represents another case of human adaptation to isolation. Living far from modern civilization, these communities have maintained a unique way of life that remained largely unknown to outsiders for decades. Their survival hinges on intimate knowledge of the local environment, resourceful subsistence strategies, and strong social cohesion. Similarly, in the islands of Panama, the Cuna people have captured attention for their vibrant cultural identity, intricately woven textiles, and bold defense of spiritual traditions. Far from being passive observers of history, the Cuna actively maintains spiritual balance through rituals, including animal sacrifices, ensuring that their worldview remains intact amidst external pressures. The are also resolute defenders of their land, standing firm against attempts to impose outside influence, highlighting how adaptation is not only about physical survival but also about preserving autonomy, knowledge, and cultural heritage. Meanwhile, in the frigid expanses of northeastern Asia, the Chukchi of Russia have displayed extraordinary resilience in one of the world's harshest climates. With a population of around 16,000, the Chukchi have inhabited this icy landscape for millennia, maintaining cultural traditions that have changed little since at least the 3rd century BCE. Divided into inland herders and coastal hunters, the Chukchi rely on reindeer for sustenance, clothing, and transportation, while coastal communities brave the frigid seas to hunt seals, walrus, and whales. Their homes, known as urus, are ingeniously designed to withstand fierce Arctic winds, polygonal tents made from reindeer skins, anchored with stones and straps and warmed by central fires that allow inhabitants to wear surprisingly light clothing despite the cold. Although modern technology has introduced some conveniences, the Chukchi remain deeply connected to their ancestral ways, blending subtle adaptation with remarkable continuity in culture and lifestyle. Thousands of miles away in the arid plains of East Africa, the Surma people of Ethiopia and South Sudan demonstrate yet another mode of human adaptation. While they do not face freezing temperatures, their environment presents its own unique challenges, and they have cultivated practices that resist outside influence, while preserving traditions. Divided into 3 subgroups, Turga, Chai, and Boom, the Surma place profound emphasis on cattle breeding and agriculture, structuring their social and economic lives around these practices. Their commitment to ancestral customs, even in the face of encroaching modernization, speaks to a universal theme among indigenous peoples: the delicate balance between survival, cultural preservation, and the pressures of the outside world. Across the globe, from the icy expanses of the Arctic to the remote highlands of Papua New Guinea, the dense jungles of India, and the plains of East Africa, human communities have demonstrated a staggering diversity of strategies for survival and adaptation. The Inuit, Chukchi, Naga, Yali, Cuna, and Surma, despite differences in environment, climate, and cultural context, all reveal one common thread: the human capacity to innovate, adapt, and preserve knowledge across generations. Whether through genetic adaptation, complex rituals, intricate social structures, or ingenious technologies, these communities challenge our assumptions about the limits of human endurance. They provide living proof that humans are not merely passive inhabitants of the earth, but active participants, capable of mastering, surviving, and thriving in environments that would otherwise seem insurmountable. Each group represents a delicate interplay between biology, culture, and environment, a testament to humanity's extraordinary resilience and ingenuity. These remarkable examples also underscore the importance of understanding and respecting indigenous knowledge. Modern science often approaches extreme environments with technological solutions, but for these communities, survival has depended on careful observation, oral traditions, and deep familiarity with their surroundings. The Inuit read the ice and the Naga master the forest and its predators. The Chukchi manage herds and navigate frozen seas. The Surma harness the rhythms of arid landscapes. In every case, survival is not just about brute force or luck. It is about knowledge, passed from generation to generation, refined through experience and tested against the harshest of conditions. In a world increasingly dominated by technology, these examples remind us that human intelligence is not solely measured by gadgets or machines, but also by our ability to observe, adapt, and integrate ourselves into the natural systems around us. In the end, the stories of these peoples reveal that adaptation takes many forms. It can be genetic, as with the Inuit, social and ritualistic, as with the cargo cults, and Cuna, physical and martial, as with the Naga, or ecological and agricultural, as with the Surma. Yet in every case it reflects a profound capacity for human ingenuity, creativity, and resilience. These communities challenge our conventional definitions of what it means to thrive, demonstrating that survival is not merely about enduring the present, but about mastering it in ways that harmonize with both environment and culture. As scientists continue to study these extraordinary groups, each discovery sheds light not only on the incredible adaptability of a human species, but also on the subtle, often overlooked ways in which culture, biology, and environment coalesce to produce a uniquely human form of mastery over the earth. From the frozen tundra of the Arctic to the remote islands of Melanesia, from the jungles of India to the highlands of Papua New Guinea, human resilience and ingenuity continue to astound these tribes through their physical adaptations, social structures, ritual practices, and cultural preservation demonstrate that survival is not just an instinctual response, but a complex interplay of knowledge, experience, and innovation. In understanding their stories, we gain a glimpse into the incredible range of human possibility, reminding us that, even in the harshest conditions, humanity can not only endure, but flourish. The Inuit, Chukchi, Naga, Yali, Cuna, and Surma are more than subjects of anthropological curiosity. They are living testaments to the boundless ingenuity, adaptability, and resilience of humankind. What is particularly striking about these communities is the way their survival strategies blend tradition with ingenuity, creating lifestyles that are both adaptive and culturally rich. The Inuit, for instance, do not merely hunt for food. They understand the migratory patterns of seals, the shifting textures of ice, and the subtle signals of the wind, allowing them to predict changes in weather that could mean the difference between life and death. Similarly, the Chukchi, while incorporating some modern tools, have retained methods of reindeer herring and hunting that reflect centuries of accumulated knowledge about the Arctic ecosystem. These practices are not static. They evolve slowly, integrating new observations and insights while remaining deeply rooted in tradition. Even in environments that seem diametrically opposed, the scorching plains of East Africa, the dense jungles of India, or the isolated mountains of Papua and New Guinea, humans have developed remarkable ways of coping. The Surma's intricate knowledge of cattle breeding ensures both sustenance and social cohesion, while the Naga's warrior traditions and artisan skills create a resilient society capable of defending itself and thriving within its ecosystem. The Yali and Cuna peoples demonstrate the importance of spiritual and ecological balance, showing that survival is not solely about physical endurance but also about maintaining harmony with the natural and supernatural worlds across continents and climates. These examples highlight a profound truth. Human adaptation is multi-dimensional. It encompasses physiology, cognition, social, organization, technology, and spirituality. Each community demonstrates that survival is not a passive response to hardship, but a dynamic, ongoing mastery of the environment, a testament to the bound